What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having an amazing day. So if you haven't seen my last video, I'm trying to figure out if I blew the engine on my Evo X behind me. I know, kind of depressing. So yeah, to give a little backstory, if you guys didn't see my last video, you know, the last time I drove the car was probably 2 months ago. And I took it out just for an ordinary drive, did a couple pulls, and then after the second pull, the car started knocking like crazy, low oil pressure, all the bad stuff, and then it shut off in like the middle of the road, and I had to tow it back. So not good. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get it started today, so we can try to narrow down whether it is the engine or, you know, something like an accessory. But I really want to know for sure, because it could easily be something like a water pump or, you know, an AC compressor that's making the knocking noise. In my last video, I did an oil change to see if I could see like any metal flakes or anything in the oil. There was a little bit, nothing really substantial, so I was thinking maybe it could be leftover stuff from the machine shop, because it was just little tiny micro flakes. So yeah, in today's video, I've been speaking with my tuner and mechanic. He's actually the one who built the car, and he basically told me that in order to really know, I need to get the car started. So the car has been sitting for 2 months now, so the battery is completely dead. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get the car jumped and started, so that he can hear that knocking noise, and then we can start eliminating things from there. So yeah, let's try to get this thing started. Alright, so we have our battery hooked up to a charger here. Let's let this do its thing for a little while, and then we'll come back and try and start her. Alright guys, it's been charging for a little while. Moment of truth. Let's try to start this thing. Well, she's trying to start, but I think she needs to charge a little more, so we'll let that go for a little longer, and then we'll go for it again. All right, the car has been charging for, I don't know, probably half hour now, so I think we're ready to go. Gonna give it a start. Fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. Well, as you guys heard, that sounds really, really bad. Definitely knocking really bad. Sounds to me 100% sounds like the engine, because I'm here and I can kind of see, I can kind of listen closely. But my mechanic and my tuner, he was saying that the only way to really know for sure whether it's the engine or an accessory is to take off the serpentine belt, because then that disconnects all the accessories that could potentially be knocking. So if the car still knocks with the belt off, the engine's done. So I'm gonna cross my fingers and pray and hope that when I take this belt off and start the car again, that it's not gonna knock. Well, since I am no mechanic and I am short on time here, I decided that I would cut off the serpentine belt, because one, it's like a $50 belt, and two, the car's going somewhere to get fixed anyway, so 50 bucks, I'm fine with cutting the belt. Now that we have the belt off, it is officially the moment of truth. When we start this thing, if it knocks, it's toast. If it doesn't, yay. I pretty much have a decision made up in my mind, depending on whether it does knock or not. If it's knocking and it is the engine, I've just about come to the conclusion that I'm gonna try to sell this car as is, because I was speaking with my mechanic, and you know, he was telling me that in order to fix it, you know, new pistons, new rods, assuming it's just the bottom end, it would be $6,500 plus another $1,000 to ship the car there, and it's just, you know, at the end of the day, it's gonna be another 10 grand, and you know, there's no guaranteeing that this won't happen. So if the engine is toast, I'm gonna look to sell this thing. Also, I can't run the car for more than like 10 seconds with the serpentine belt off, because if the engine is fine, it could hurt it, because, you know, the water pump and everything, so it's not getting water pressure. So yeah, just gonna run it for like 5 seconds and then shut it off. Let's just have a moment of silence here for this lost Evo soul. Well, as you guys just heard, the engine's done. the engine is definitely toast. My mechanic definitely thinks it's something in the bottom end, and you know, like I said earlier, it's going to be $6,500 minimum once the car's there. So realistically, close to $10,000. So at this point, you know, I've been thinking about it for, you know, the last 2 months, what I want to do. So I think I'm just gonna try to get rid of her. You know, it hurts so much to say that because this car has been my baby for like 3 years, but you know, there's always a time and a place, and you know, this car, it doesn't necessarily make sense to put any more money into it at this point. So I guess I'm gonna try to sell it. So for selling her, first thing I want to do is take off the wheels and anything I want to keep, because it doesn't necessarily make sense to sell it as a blown engine with some nice wheels on it. So I'm gonna take off the wheels. I don't know if I'm gonna keep anything else because, like, you know, it doesn't necessarily make sense to keep some of the other things, but yeah, we'll just go through what I want to keep and what I don't. So looking at the engine bay here, in terms of looking for things to keep, no sense in keeping this intercooler pipe because it's not really worth much to resell. Intake, same thing. It's kind of just, you know, if it was an ETS intake, maybe, but these Cobb intakes aren't as sought out after. My manifold, you know, it's like a $300 manifold, and I could probably sell it for maybe like $150. So again, not necessarily worth it because it would take me probably 10 hours to get it off. Downpipe, same thing. Probably could sell for $200. Not necessarily worth all the time to take that off, and I don't have the time to. So yeah, I think just about the only thing I'm gonna keep is the wheels, maybe the tail lights. So yeah, I'm gonna take the wheels off now and basically start prepping the car to get rid of it. Now this is a sad day, but it's also, you know, a new beginning. If I sell the Evo, I most definitely plan on getting another project car. I have one in mind, something that I've wanted to do for a while. So if I sell the Evo, it kind of enables me to do that. And you know, the Evo has just been kind of like sitting here doing nothing, and it hasn't been giving me any content because, one, it's broken and I can't really do much with it. So yeah, it opens the door for a bunch of new project cars, and after this thing is sold, I'm gonna start my search for my next project car. And you know, the one I have in mind is something that I haven't really seen anywhere on YouTube, so I think it would be a really cool build to do. I'm not gonna spoil it yet though. Well, to make this a whole lot easier, taking these wheels off, I'm just gonna use some magic here. Same thing for this side too. Well guys, now that we got the wheels off, there is one final step in our goodbye. That is how you know it is official. Sad, sad day. Well, we found a new home for you until we get our next project car. Alright guys, so basically this is goodbye for the Evo. I probably won't be making another video of it unless I make a video when I'm selling the car, but I doubt it. So yeah, this is probably the last time you're gonna see the Evo on the channel, which is so sad, but you know, I've had so much fun with this car. It was a huge learning experience. You know, I learned so much about how, you know, just car engines and all that type of stuff work in general. You know, so I definitely still have a positive takeaway from this car. It kind of sucks for it to kind of go out like this, but you know, like I said earlier, it really just doesn't make sense to throw another $10,000 in it. Since this is a farewell to the Evo, I'm gonna try to make a little montage of all the clips I have, just, you know, throughout building the car. I didn't document some of the early stuff, but yeah, all the clips I have, I'll, you know, try to make a little montage, and I'll play that right now.